What's happening, everybody? Juan in the garage. I don't know why I tell you that every time. You know who I am, and I think by now you all know my surroundings. Anyway, out in the garage working. I think you guys probably saw if you watched my last Chronicles episode. Wow, it's cold out here. Breathing out steam. I finished putting my center stand on, got it all together, put feet on it, and determined that I didn't like it. Either way, I was going to have to shorten it because I made the legs longer than they need to be, and it sits probably about an inch, inch and a half too high for the look that I'm going for. So, regardless, I'm going to cut those legs down a little bit shorter, and that one will actually be complete and it'll stay exactly how it is. But I determined that I kind of wanted to try to do something different. So I came out and decided to build a whole new one from scratch. No donor, didn't buy one and modify it. Full disclosure, this is not my idea. This is a center stand, a manual center stand that was for some Harley. I don't even remember which one, but it was discontinued some time ago, apparently. And what I'm going to do is actually make it electric if I can. So here's what I'm working with right now. So what I did is I took some schedule 40, I guess this is, 1.5 ID pipe, split it down the middle. And that's because the frame rail is 1.5 inches in diameter. And what this is going to do is the frame is going to sit in this. The frame will sit in this. And then what you just saw fall off, okay, it's all falling apart now. But this is one of the legs. I welded a piece of solid rod with a piece of angle iron to protect it. This actually goes like that. And then when it's in its stowed position, or when the bike is up, this will sit back and then will swing down in this position when the bike is lowered. And what I'm going to do is put this threaded rod in here. It's not going to thread, it's just going to be in here for support. And what I'm going to do is flatten one side of this, spin that around to the back, put the feet on here, and the legs will be adjustable. I'm not going to need it to be adjustable for me because I know once I get it to the height that I want it, that's what it's going to be. But what this will make it easier for me to do is I can actually cut the legs. And if I don't get them exactly even because of differences in where the solid piece is mounted on the frame rail bracket, it could be a difference of, 1 or 2 millimeters, or, maybe a 1/16 of an inch, 32nd of an inch or something. But if I don't get these things cut exactly even, then I can play with it with the feet and get it exactly where I need it to make sure they're even. And what I'll do is I'll weld a foot onto the bottom of this. This will be the crossbar that's going to go and support, create the rigidity. And so now you're asking, well, if this is going to wrap around the frame rail, and you see that it isn't straight up and down, it curves back. So the frame is actually going to be farther over. With this down here far enough, I should be able to flex it out the, I don't know, 1/8 inch maybe necessary to be able to pop that around the frame. And then what I'm going to do for starters is I'm going to put one of the heavy duty exhaust clamps around there to hold it onto the frame, to stress test it and see if it's going to function. And if it functions, I like it, and I know that's what I'm going with, I'm going to go ahead and weld it to the frame in a couple of spots here and there so that I don't need the clamps on there to hold those brackets in place. And she will be good. Now, what I'm also going to do is put something on this leg that will kind of curve up and over that way, some kind of plate that'll curve up and over, because what I'm going to attempt to do, I have a couple of different actuators. This is just one. This thing is super lightweight, weighs about 8 ounces, but it's pretty long. This thing's, I think 6 inches long, 6.5 inches long when it's retracted. But It gives me 2.5 inches, I believe, of stroke on here. And I'll be able to mount this, I don't know, something like that. And then if I have that, whatever it is I put to come up and swing around to the actuator, when that goes out, it will take this. Actually, that would be sitting like this. When the actuator extends, it'll push this down into the down position. That's going to take some math. I'm going to have to work with that a little bit, but that's what I'm going for at present. So like I said, it is not completely my design. I borrowed an idea of something that somebody made some time ago that has since discontinued it. And I've modified it to work on our bike. And also what I'm doing with this, since that's mounting to the frame, it's going to kick the leg to the outside of the frame rail. So now, while this will be under the bike, this is 1/2 inch. And so it is not going to sit way down below the bike, not taking away any clearance. And because this is so small and so light, I can probably even extend off of this bracket and mount this actuator to this and not have to worry about finding room for it anywhere else. But, excuse me, again, still working with that. But yeah, I decided I wanted to try to make something completely different that gave me a broader base of support for the center stand and that I could make electric. So we will see how it goes. I'll keep you guys up to date.